Hey there, you're tuning into Better Life Now, the show that brings you fresh stories and new perspectives. Airing every Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on this YouTube channel. Hello everyone, welcome to Better Life Now, and I'm so happy to be back with you for our third episode. If you've listened to the first two episodes, you know I'm someone who's been lost, fumbling my way to a better life through small steps, like someone wandering without GPS but still trying to find their way home. Today, we're diving into a topic I bet we've all struggled with: saying no to be free, a small step to live lighter. Sounds easy, right? But doing it? Not so much. I used to think saying no was a crime. Like I'd instantly become a bad person if I refused. But then I realized, saying no isn't about letting others down, it's about saving yourself from going crazy. I'll share a few real stories from my life, those days when I took on so much I wanted to run away from home. Give you a small tip to try, and throw in some examples to show you how it works. So, get ready, grab a cup of coffee, or a bubble tea if you're into something sweet. I'll just stick with water because I'm frugal, and let's get started. Let me tell you a story, the time I call my era of overloading at a godly level. A few years back, I quit my office job and started freelancing, the kind of freelancer that sounds cool. But in reality, it was a total mess. A complete disaster. I wanted to prove myself, so I took on everything: writing articles, creating content, editing documents for friends. Even when my mom asked me to go grocery shopping or a friend asked for a ride, I'd nod right away. I thought, oh, it's nothing, I can handle it. I'm a superhero. But nope, my friends, I wasn't a superhero, I was just super exhausted. One day, I was sitting at my desk, papers scattered around like a battlefield, my phone buzzing non-stop, clients asking for updates, friends texting about stuff, my mom calling to remind me to buy veggies. I tried to do everything, but by the evening, I'd only finished half of it, and the rest was a chaotic mess. I was drained, collapsed on my bed, thinking, why am I so tired? What am I doing with my life? And then, I suddenly thought, maybe I should just go sell lottery tickets. Selling lottery tickets might be easier. I grab a stack of tickets, walk around the streets, shouting things like, buy a lottery ticket. Folks, you might change your life. No need to sit with a laptop. I'd get some walking exercise. And who knows, maybe I'd win the jackpot and change my life for real. But then I thought again, wait, selling lottery tickets probably isn't that easy either. What if I can't sell them? What if it rains? I'd end up sitting with a stack of unsold tickets, crying, probably even more miserable than I am now. And that's when I realized, I was taking on too much because I didn't know how to say no. I was scared that refusing would make others upset, that they'd think I was selfish. But by not saying no, I was suffocating myself. That day taught me a big lesson. Saying no isn't about rejecting others, it's about choosing yourself. So you don't have to run away from your own life, or actually go sell lottery tickets. So, what do I want to share with you today? It's that you don't need to please everyone to live well. You just need to learn how to say no gently, to protect your time and energy. I get it. We've all been afraid of refusing, scared of disappointing others. I used to think saying no was selfish, that it made me a bad person. I'd be like, oh, if I say no, they'll get mad, they'll think I'm not helpful, so I'll just do it. I'll figure it out later. But then I realized, if I keep saying yes to everything, I'll have nothing left for myself, no time, no energy, and maybe even no hair, because stress would make it all fall out. That day I was exhausted from overloading. I started to change. I didn't say no to everything, I just got selective. I started small, saying no to things that weren't urgent or necessary, so I could save time for what mattered more. For example, when a friend texted asking for a ride, I replied, I'm busy. maybe next time. The first time, I felt guilty. Like, oh no, what if they get mad? What if they unfriend me? But my friend just said, sure, no problem. I let out a sigh of relief, thinking, wait, that was easy? Why didn't I do this sooner? From then on, I practiced saying no more often, not to push people away, but to live lighter, so I wouldn't have to work and cry silently at the same time. I want you to think about your own life. Are you taking on too much? Is there something you can say no to ease the pressure? Pick one thing, say no, and see what happens. That's what we'll explore today, a small step to feel freer. So you don't have to run away like I did. Let me get straight to the main tip, the small change I believe can help you live lighter. It's this: practice saying no once a day to things that aren't necessary. That's it. You don't have to say no to everything. Just once, to something that's not urgent or important, so you have time for yourself. I know, it sounds simple, but it's not easy, especially if you're used to saying yes to make others happy. I was like that too at first. I was scared that refusing would make people mad, that they'd think I wasn't helpful. Like, oh no, if I say no, they'll think I'm stuck up, and I'll end up with no friends. But let me explain how I did it. After that day of being exhausted from overloading, I decided to try, every day, I'd say no once to something unnecessary. The first day, a friend texted, "Hey, wanna grab dinner tonight?" I wanted to go, but I knew I had a deadline to finish. And I was tired. The kind of tired where I just wanted to lie down like a lazy cat. I texted back, "I'm busy. Maybe next time." I was worried they'd get mad, but they replied, "Okay, next time then." I felt so relieved. Like, wait, they're not mad? I still have friends. From then on, I practiced saying no every day, not to everything, but to things I knew would overwhelm me. I said no to hanging out when I was tired. No to projects that didn't fit. No to random requests that weren't urgent. Like, "Can you buy this for me?" Maybe next time. "I'm busy, resting." Every time I said no, I felt like I gained more time to rest, to do things I liked, to live for myself. I want you to try it. You don't have to say no to everything. Just once a day. Pick something that's not urgent. Say no and see how you feel. It's small, but I bet it'll make you feel lighter than you think, lighter like you just dropped a 20-pound backpack off your shoulders. Let me share another story, this time. It's when I realized that saying no didn't just help me reduce stress, but also helped me live true to myself. A year after my overloading phase, I'd gotten more used to freelancing, but I still had a habit of taking on extra work. I was scared of missing opportunities. Scared people would think I was lazy. And scared I wouldn't have money to buy bubble tea. You guys. One day, a former client texted, "Can you take on another project? It's urgent." The project paid well, and I'm a sucker for money. Like, money. Come to me. I was about to say yes, but then I paused, thinking, hold on, if I take this, I'll burn out. At the time, I was already working on another project, and I wanted to take the weekend off to visit my mom. I hadn't been home in so long. So long that my mom called and asked, "Hey, are you still alive?" I texted back, "Thanks for the offer, but I'm busy. Maybe next time." I was worried the client wouldn't be happy. Like, oh no, they won't call me again. I've lost a gig. But they replied, "No worries. Let's work together next time." I let out a sigh of relief. And that weekend, I went home to my mom. I sat down to eat her home-cooked meal, rice with water spinach soup and braised fish. Listening to her gossip about the neighbors. Like, the girl next door got married, but her husband's so lazy. For the first time in a long while, I felt truly alive. No deadlines, no worries, no eating while checking emails. I thought, if I hadn't said no that day, I'd probably be sitting with my laptop, stressed to the point of losing my hair. From then on, I realized, saying no isn't just about refusing a task, it's about choosing what matters more. I want you to try it. When something's overwhelming you, say no and make time for what you value. It won't make you miss opportunities, it'll help you find yourself again. So you don't have to live while crying on the inside. Instead of sharing another story, I want to give you some examples to show how this tip can work in everyday life, practical stuff you can actually do. Not just empty theories you hear and forget right away. Let's say you're someone who always agrees to help, friends ask for a ride, colleagues ask for extra work, family asks you to run errands. You say yes to everything, but by the end of the day, you're exhausted, with no time for yourself. The kind of exhausted where you just want to lie down like a lazy cat. But you still have to keep running. Try this small change today. Pick one non-urgent thing to say no to. For example, a friend texts, "Can you give me a ride to buy something?" You know you've got stuff to do, and you're tired. Reply, "I'm busy, maybe next time." You'll find you have more time to rest, to work, or just to sit quietly, watch a movie, eat popcorn, and think, "Wow, my life's actually pretty chill. I tried it. I said no to a hangout once. And that evening I watched a movie, ate popcorn, and felt so much lighter. No rushing around while worrying about deadlines." Or if you're a student, always getting asked by classmates to help with homework or lend your notes while you're still swamped with your own assignments. Try saying no once. "I haven't finished mine yet. Let me finish first, okay?" You'll feel relieved, not because you're rejecting your friend, but because you're choosing yourself first, so you don't have to study while crying on the inside. Or if you work in an office, and your boss keeps giving you small extra tasks outside your duties, like, "Do this too." It's quick. But you know you're already drowning. The kind of drowning where you want to shout, "Boss, I'm not a robot." Try saying, "I'm working on something else right now. Can I do it after I'm done?" I did that once. My boss nodded and even praised me for managing my time well. Like, turns out I'm pretty good at this. This tip doesn't make you say no to everything. It helps you be selective, so you can live lighter, without having to work and complain the whole time. So, today I've shared with you this small change, from the story of how I learned to say no to stop overloading, to the time I chose to refuse so I could be with my mom, and the examples for you to try in your own life. This isn't some fancy tip. It's something I learned from my own days of exhaustion. When I thought I had to please everyone. Like, if I don't do this, they'll think I'm useless. But I realized, saying no once a day is enough to live for myself. Little by little. I want you to try it. You don't have to say no to everything. Just once. Today, pick something that's not urgent. Say no and see how you feel. If it makes you feel lighter, let me know in the comments. I read them all, and I'd love to hear if it works for you. I remember asking a friend once, "Do you ever say no?" They said, "I just started. I said no to hanging out when I was tired, and I feel better." Just that one sentence made my day, like, oh, I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm not alone. So if you have ideas or questions, drop a comment, I'll reply. And who knows, it might become the topic for the next episode. Oh, and after commenting, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell, or I'll be really sad. Before I say goodbye, I want to leave you with one last thought. You don't need to please everyone to live well. You just need to say no once to feel freer. I used to think I had to say yes to be liked, to prove myself. Like, if I don't do this, they'll think I'm lazy. But then I realized, the times I said no were when I truly lived, not for others, but for myself. I'm not promising you'll say no to everything. I'm just promising to help you find a way to live lighter, little by little, so you don't have to live while crying on the inside like I used to. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me today. I know it's long, but I hope it brought you something, even if it's just a smile or a small idea. Next episode, I'll be back at 8 p.m. on Wednesday with a new topic about finding joy in the little things, like the joy of eating a hot plate sandwich. Sounds fun, right? Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, so you don't miss it. This is Better Life Now. See you next time. Bye bye.